Hey guys, JT here with what's going to be kind of a final thoughts on the ARRMA Granite voltage series. You guys know I got this about a month ago, and I've actually been running it a lot more than I have been filming it because I've been putting the car through its paces just to see how it's going to perform and how it runs. You guys know I did a duration run to see how long this car would run stock out the box. You guys know it comes with these, I think it's 1865 or something batteries. These are basically, people call them vape batteries and stuff. Oh, that's not good. You see where I pushed that up? But it basically comes with these batteries, and these are, if this can focus in just a little bit, you guys see these are 1500 milliamps. So basically how this car works, you guys know this is a very, very unique design. That's kind of why I got it too, because I like the way they went about this. You guys know that these batteries actually go into here, and it can use up to 6 of them, and it just doubles or triples the capacity if you get these batteries. Now I saw that these batteries are in stock and in parts and stuff, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But with this design here, this is very, very unique and interesting, and I'm glad ARRMA did this, and this kind of opens the door for them to do a lot more things as well. So for instance, you guys know these batteries fit up in here. I kind of got them reversed, but you want to make sure you put them in correctly too. It shows you down here plus, negative, and stuff, and you want to make sure you put these in right. But with these batteries, I got 7 minutes runtime on it. You guys saw I took this to the park and I ran it all out, and I got 7 minutes. So of course, if you double it, you'll get about 14 minutes. And then if you triple it, you get about 21 minutes, probably about 20. Just, it's going to depend on how hard you run the truck. If you're going to take the truck and just run it all out like I did, or you're going to run it a little bit, go a little bit slower here and there, and then go faster. So it's going to depend on that. Now, as far as the speed controller is concerned, some people asked me about the specs on that. I still couldn't find specs as far as what turn motor it could go down to and handle. This is a 540 size motor. It's not a 550 or 15 turn. And this speed control is a 40 amp. So I'm pretty sure if you wanted to get a little bit more speed out of it, which out the box, this thing is probably going to go about 20, probably close to 20 miles per hour, maybe a little bit more with these batteries. Then you put a 2S in it, and it's going to go a lot faster, because I've also showed that in my videos as well. So with this, is the 40 amp speed controller, and this is a 540 motor. You could probably go down to about a 20 or 18 maybe turn motor. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on it. Don't get that and then say, oh, I burned my speed controller because JTRC said it. But out the box, this thing runs fine, especially for what they geared it for and the price point. This is made for beginners, and then of course there's some people like me who've been in the hobby for a while, want to get something like this and run it. I've enjoyed running it. I haven't had any problems or any issues, no breakages or anything on it either. And I've run it a lot. I've run it off-road a lot. I didn't get a chance to film any skate park runs, but it ran fine, and I didn't go crazy or ballistic with it either. So another thing with this was not only just the batteries, but I actually have a stick pack in here. You can put either a 6-cell nickel metal battery pack in here, like you see there, and this actually just slides in there as well. You can't do a hump pack, because of course that won't fit, and you won't be able to fit a 7-cell that has an extra cell on it either. Or you can do a 2S LiPo. You see this LiPo just fits in there. It's gonna fit a little tight, but it will fit in there, so you won't have to worry about that either. And this is a hard case LiPo, so you guys saw I ran videos with this as well. You just kind of slide that in there. It's gonna actually go this direction here, if I can get this down in here, and that's just gonna slide, you know, right up in there. You're gonna have to tuck these wires down, but it does fit. It is kind of tight, but it will fit. So the design and everything they've done for this has been very interesting, and it's actually worked. When I first saw it, I thought they were using AA's. I know I wasn't the only one, so don't say, oh, he thought they were AA's, he's dumb. Because that's all they showed kind of was this. And I was like, ARRMA came out with AA's for their cars. I was like, what are they thinking? But it wasn't. They surprised me. Not only that, this is mid-motor. So this truck handled really, really well. Now, stock out the box, it is going to feel just a little light as you're running it, because it's not going to have the weight of a nickel metal battery or a LiPo battery in it, but it still handled and ran fine. You guys saw how it handled off-road, but it did feel a little light on its feet. But once I added a actual battery to whether it's a nickel metal or a LiPo, it gave it more weight, and it was a little bit more well planted. So regardless if you run this stock out the box, it's still going to perform well. But when you start adding more batteries and stuff to it, it gives it a little bit more weight and it runs well. So I didn't have any problems or issues with the handling of the truck. The radio, when I first saw it, I thought, oh my gosh, this radio is going to be super small. And I thought about the ECX amp that I used to have. I don't have it anymore, but it came with a 3-in-1 unit, which is what this is here. It's basically the ESC and the receiver built into one unit. So I was kind of worried about that because sometimes those units don't work the best. It worked fine in my amp, but it was kind of limited as well. I couldn't really update it too much. And I'm not sure how much you can update as far as motor wise with this, but the radio and stuff was fine. You guys see there, it gives you your basic throttle trims and stuff on here as well, but you can also dial down the steering some on it too. And it even has a little bind plug. You guys see that right there in the bottom right. Let's see if that'll focus in. So if you bought another one of these and then got a radio, you can actually bind it together. I don't believe I could have done that with my amp. So I had the amp MT actually. So as far as that's concerned, that was good. And there's other little things on this truck. You guys see that this is adjustable. The body mounts front and rear. It's not too much adjustability, but you can adjust it somewhat. So that's been pretty good with it. It does come with full ball bearings. So that was good as well. My amp came with full ball bearings as well. So if you look at kind of the price point of the two, both of those trucks are $139. And I wish I still kind of had my amp to do a comparisons, but ECX is calling their amp a monster truck, but it's kind of a stadium truck size. It doesn't have the big monster truck tires like these, but it still performed well. I'm not taking anything away from the amp at all because it still performed well and it's built on a really good platform because I like that platform as well. But this is just something that's been very, very innovative that ARRMA came out with, and it was actually really good. As far as the gearing and stuff, it comes with 48 pitch gears. It's a 93 tooth spur gear and a 16 tooth pinion gear, which you're thinking, wow. But you guys see when I ran it, the temperatures full out off-road, stock out the box, got to between 70 to 75 degrees. And it wasn't like it was 40 degrees outside. It was about 70 degrees or so. So they designed this so kids could take this out and just run it out. I mean, just run it full blast and go through water, mud, and have fun with it, not have to worry about temperatures, the car overheating, and having any of those issues with it. So another thing is going to be it does come with this cool charger for it. And what I liked about it was when I first got the kit, I kind of told you guys that I was actually driving to a spot to run it, and it has a USB port as well. It comes with a AC wall charge, and you just actually plug this in there. But as I was driving, I didn't have enough time to charge it here at the house. So I have a USB port in my car. So I just plugged this in there. And I was charging the batteries as I was actually going to the spot I was going to drive and test this at. So that was a good thing with this. So if you guys are out in the bottom, you took this car on a trip and you didn't have time to charge them at home, you could take this with you and charge these in your car. Now, it took about 3 or 4 hours, maybe a little bit more, to charge these two batteries up. So that was something that I think if you guys got this and you were going to stick with these type of batteries, you could get a faster charger that charges these a little bit faster. So I'm not sure what the amperage is it charges these at, but that's just something to consider. But if it's for a kid, you know, most kits don't even include a charger. So it's good that they included this charger with this. And like I said, for the price, you just can't beat it. Now, another thing was going to be part support. A lot of times when a car is released, you don't find parts for it, or you'll find a few parts here and there. I'll say, you know, order pending or something. So I looked on Tower Hobby's website again. When this first came out, I saw that they had all the parts in stock, and I see they still have them in stock, which is great. I think that that is an absolute plus because I hate it when manufacturers release new cars, but there's no parts out for it. Like nothing's going to break on it. I'm not saying that it should, but if something breaks, you just want to be able to order the parts and get the parts and stuff for it, which you can with this. And ARRMA's done this with not only this, they did it with the Sentin and also the Granite. Those are both 4x4 brush trucks as well. So there's parts out there for that. So I do give ARRMA a big thumbs up for actually releasing parts with releasing the videos, because not that many companies do that unless it's a company that has the same brand car out and they just change one or two things on it. So, but anyway, that is my thoughts on this truck, guys. I didn't find anything wrong with it. It ran fine, no problems or no issues at all. I plan on maybe trying to convert this to a stadium truck at some point, because it does come with 12 millimeter hexes, while the Granite 4x4 is 14 millimeters. So your tire options are out there as well. So if you want to change out your tires and wheels, just find something with 12 millimeter hexes that has the same offset. And you probably want to get that half or wide offset wheel as well, because anything else is going to kind of stick in and rub into the body and stuff with it. So everything has been good with this car. Tires, I thought the compound was going to be a little bit, when I first felt them, I thought they would be a little bit too hard, but they weren't actually after I ran it and then ran on the street and stuff like that. These actually wore in pretty good, and with how the car is balanced out, everything ran well with it. I mean, with the mid motor and everything for it. So I'd give this car a thumbs up. If you are getting into the hobby for the first time, or you have a child that you want to get into, a niece, nephew, whatever it may be, I would recommend something like this. I mean, it comes straight out the box. You don't have to worry about them having a LiPo battery like this until you want to upgrade to it for more speed, because it comes with everything you need for it. And if you ever want them to have longer run times, they can just buy more of the batteries. Or I even saw that ARRMA has the charger out now, where it can charge up to 6 batteries, and they even sell them. So I think the batteries are like $24 for 6, and then the charger is like $30 or something like that. So that's an option too. But I do recommend this car. You know, if you're getting into it, wanting to start out and stuff, if you wanted to upgrade later on, you can of course do that. I think the first thing that someone would do would be putting a LiPo battery in here, because you're going to see about a 3 to 4 or 5 mile per hour difference, and that's a big difference when you put a LiPo in it. And you're going to get a longer run time too. And as far as upgrading, of course you can do some minor upgrades. I mean, I wouldn't go crazy with this and do brushless 3S LiPo and stuff, but it's possible it can probably handle a mild brushless system, probably like a 3000 to maybe 3200 kV motor on 2S LiPo, not 3S. But you know, you guys are going to go out there, and I know somebody's going to do the world's fastest voltage granite, put a 3S LiPo in it, lower it down and stuff, which is fine. That's going to be interesting to see, and I want to see it, but I won't do it. Or maybe I will. We'll see. But anyway, if you want to upgrade this, you're going to have to change out the speed control and, of course, the radio with that. So you're going to spend a couple of dollars to do some upgrades to it. But most people, when they get time to upgrading it, they already have some of the parts and stuff out. And you can go with some mild systems that's going to cost you anywhere from $50 up to maybe 120, 130. Just depends on what you want to go with. And you would have to get a radio too, which is fine as well if you wanted to do those upgrades for it. But stock out the box, guys, you can't beat it for what it's worth. And just the innovativeness of this thing is just really unique in the whole RC world. And I do give ARRMA a big thumbs up, a big high five on that, because I'm happy that they did something like this. If I was a kid and I got into this and I got something like this would be awesome, because when I was young, I had the Nico cars and stuff, and we used AA's in them. And we would always me and my brother would always try to get the Energizers and stuff, because those made our cars run a lot better than at the time, the Walgreen brands, because those didn't perform as well, but we still drove them and stuff. But we had a blast. And this just kind of brings back those particular memories when I was younger. So it'd be cool if ARRMA actually did something like this as well and made like an on-road car for it. I don't think they can do a 4-wheel drive car for it, because they'd have to get the shaft through here. Unless they did belt drive, but then that belt stuff yeah. But we won't get into that. But anyway, guys, like I said, this is a good truck. I do recommend, especially if someone's starting out and they're on a budget. It handled well, performed well, and you guys have the ARRMA support for it. And you can't beat it for what it's worth. So they do have this and also the Phase-On, but I liked more of the monster truck look. So those are going to be my thoughts on this. I know I've been kind of ranting on about this and going through some of the features of it, but I just can't speak enough on the innovativeness of this, and I'm glad that a company stepped forward and brought us something new to the game and something just to kind of look at. So you probably will see some more videos on this coming soon. I'll probably do some mild modifications, but wanted to get this out. So you guys, as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed, and as always, stay tuned for more videos.